And we are following multiple breaking news stories tonight as election results roll into our newsroom.
We have team coverage in both Kansas and Missouri as we learn who is taking over elected offices and what voters had to say about multiple initiatives in the future of their city or county. But first, we start with big news from the Sunflower State's capital.
Republican lawmakers hit a roadblock in President Donald Trump's mission to redraw congressional maps ahead of the 2026 midterms. Republican State House Speaker Dan Hawkins says his party does not have the votes to call a special session. Despite holding a supermajority, he says he can't get enough Republicans on board.
It's after lawmakers in Missouri, Texas, and North Carolina agreed to redraw their maps in the middle of the decade following the call from President Donald Trump. His goal is to shore up Republican seats so the party can keep control of Congress in 2026. In response, California countered with an initiative on tonight's ballot with the aim of picking up 5 Democratic seats. As for Kansas, the effort to redraw maps is not necessarily dead yet. They will be back in for their regular session early next year and would have time to get a new map into law. However, it does not appear they would have a veto-proof majority. This is a story we will continue to watch when they return to work in January.
And moving to breaking news out of Kansas City, Kansas, where Crystal Watson will become the city's new mayor and Wyandotte County CEO. She takes over for Tyrone Garner, who decided not to run for re-election after one term. KCK hasn't had a mayor serve more than one term since Joe Reardon, who left office back in 2013.
KCTV5's Betsy Webster joins us live from her watch party tonight at John's Java and Jazz. And Betsy, you've been covering the lead up to this race. What is her message tonight?
Well, I will tell you, her message is to reset and to rebuild. She's surrounded here tonight by family. This is her mom is here with her, her kids, her husband. Her opponent outfunded her, but she came out ahead. Now, we were here when her opponent, Rose Mulvaney Henry, called her to concede.
I just thank you for the campaign trail. It's been an honor and a privilege to campaign with you. All right. Thank you, Rose. You too. Bye-bye.
Congratulations! And that was just the first cheer of excitement. She'd been waiting and waiting for the final results to come in. That phone call was the first sign of victory, but then the unofficial final results came in just moments later. One of the topics that's been of interest to voters is property taxes. She told us how she plans to address that.
The number one thing I really want to work on is I want to work on that 1% earnings tax. That could bring up to $50 million in revenue to Wyandotte County. That's the beginning of lowering our taxes. Right. We want to do infill. You know, we've got vacant lots, 4,300 vacant lots just in the Northeast area alone. So let's get those houses filled and let's bring that property tax in.
And there she is with her mom. I asked her mom how she's feeling. She said she's still shaking, but she never doubted that it would happen. Now, in addition to family, I saw some big names from across the state line. Kansas City Mayor Pro Tem Rihanna Park Shaw was here. Jackson County Prosecutor Melissa Johnson was here. I jokingly asked Johnson what she was doing in Kansas. She said supporting black women. And she wasn't joking. She said that with enthusiasm, with joy, and with conviction. And now Crystal Watson will be the first black woman to hold the seat of Kansas City, Kansas mayor. Live in Kansas City, Kansas, Betsy Webster, KCTV5 News.
Yeah, a big night for the mayor-elect there in Kansas City, Kansas. Betsy, thank you. Now we want to take you to the mayor's race in Overland Park. Kurt Skoog has won another 4 years in City Hall, defeating Faris Farasati by a 40-point margin. Both candidates ran for mayor in 2021 after the retirement of longtime Mayor Carl Gerlach. Skoog will now get a second term in office. In Independence, voters said yes to a 4-day school week. It was first approved by the board back in 2022, but some state lawmakers opposed it, then passed a law requiring big districts to take the issue to voters. The district says it's been able to attract new teachers and keep staff because of the shortened work week. It'll stay in place for at least the next 10 years.
And in Prairie Village, this city will keep its mayor-council form of government. This question was put on the ballot after a successful petition drive. People were unhappy about the government's rezoning efforts and spending on City Hall. Even if it did pass, supporters say it would have been up to the council to figure out what to do. But it's staying with the status quo there. And now moving to Jackson County, where voters delivered an overwhelming yes to make the assessor an elected position. They were previously appointed. Tonight, more than 51,000 Jackson County voters approving that change versus just under 6,800 saying no. But this is not an immediate change. The current assessor is still in her role. That is Gail McCann Beatty. KCTV5 investigative reporter Samantha Boring is joining us now live from the Jackson County Assessment Department. And Samantha, you've been following this story from the start. What does this night mean for voters?
Well, Lauren, for those more than 51,000 voters, many of them feel that this is a way to really start turning around the issues they face with their property tax assessments in 2019, 2023, and even this year. And like you said, Gail McCann Beatty, she's the current Jackson County assessor. She was appointed in 2019 by then Jackson County executive Frank White Jr., and she's faced a lot of criticisms. But here's exactly where we go from here. She doesn't lose her job that we know of. She's really staying in that position. But what this does is this changes the Jackson County charter to make the assessor an elected position. But this is not the last step for Jackson County. The next step is the entire state of Missouri next year will vote on a state constitution amendment deciding on whether or not to change for all counties, including Jackson County, that they have a county assessor election. From there, if that passes, then in 2028, Jackson County will have the chance to vote for a county assessor. So quite a long way there. But Jackson County Legislature Chair Deron McGee sharing a statement tonight about this effort. He says he was proud to sponsor. He shared in part, quote, "By electing our assessor, residents will finally have a direct say in how property is assessed and how their tax dollars are managed. This is a victory for homeowners, renters, small businesses, and for rebuilding trust in local government," end quote. Now, tonight I did reach out to the Jackson County Executive's office as well as the Jackson County Assessor's office to see if they have any comment on this decision. We're still waiting to hear back. Live in downtown Kansas City, Samantha Boring, KCTV5 Investigates.
Thank you, Samantha. And we do have many more races to dive into that we will get to here in a few moments. You can follow along in the KCTV5 News app and also see them strolling at the bottom of your screen.